For 30 years, 9-ball players from around the globe have made their way to the beautiful city of Chesapeake, Virginia, all with the dream of becoming U.S. Open 9-ball champions. The list of former champions reads like a who's who of professional pool. Who will it be this year? Brought to you by Chalk Off, the official table cleaner of professional pool. The Spider, using laser technology to improve your game. And Q-Tech Cues, serious cues for serious players. You're watching the U.S. Open 9-Ball Championship on Billiard Club Network.
What a match in prospect here. This is one that players, you'll probably see all the players around this venue looking for this one.
Ladies and gentlemen,
welcome
one more time,
everyone.
Efren Reyes,
Jim
Earl
White
Strickland.
alongside
Thank you.
Cardona with the best seat in the house.
Actually, Jim, there really isn't a bad seat, particularly for this match here, because this is center stage once again. Both of these players feed off of that, particularly Earl. But in this particular, on this particular table, Earl's had some problems in the past. He made it apparent to me that he doesn't like playing on this table, but he said it's a three-piece late. It's not a one-piece late. I don't see why that should, impair his judgment or hurt his game in any way, but he's allowing that too possibly to happen.
Race to 11 to stay unbeaten.
But
Strickland was sent to the loser's bracket by Ralph Souquet and Reyes by Jose Perica. So this one, sudden death. To live on in the 30th annual U.S. Open Championship, they need to survive this one.
Yeah, it's a shame that one of these players has to leave after this match is over. They do both have a loss. Which one will it be? Very nicely positioned behind the 4 and the 5, the cue ball that is. Now Strickland steps to the table having the kick. This is not the type of a shot you want to step to the table with to have for your first shot, Jim, but sometimes it goes that way.
No, it looks like Earl is getting, I think that's his break cue, isn't it? Because he doesn't jump with the jump stick. He jumps with his break cue. A harder tip. Might even be a phenolic tip. But he's got to go over the edge of this 5, it looks like, to attack this 2. And he'll be raising the back end of the cue.
Well, in my opinion, Jim, there isn't anyone in the world that jumps over balls with a regular length cue better than Earl Strickland. As you can see, pocketing the 2 in the corner with a full length cue, that's not an easy task.
Great shot. You'll see Janet Schimmel there in the purple. Head of Q-Tech Cues, JS Sales, and the sponsor of Earl Strickland. In fact, this is the Q-Tech Q Arena. There's Janet, right beside her man Strickland, keeping him focused.
This is a difficult shot here. He's going to have to hit the 3 ball very thinly in order to pocket it, which he's done. He needs to clear the 8, which he didn't. Now the cue ball may end up in back of the 7, which it didn't. He did end up with a shot on the 4. Nicely executed shot. Really deserved the shot on the 4.
Billy, you said earlier in this tournament that you were watching Strickland practice and you just saw that look in his eye, that swagger, that focus. You thought he was ready again.
Yeah, I thought he was ready to play because this was one of the rare times in tournaments I've watched him practice at the practice table. Normally he really doesn't practice that much when he's at tournaments, but this tournament he was practicing a lot, which sent a message to me that he was preparing himself to play. He wasn't able to really keep it together mentally I think it was the match before last. Hopefully he's gotten himself together, and if he did, he's going to be very, very, very difficult to beat.
Very poor shot there from Strickland, though. I mean, that was straightforward position. I don't know whether he drifted too far or didn't get far enough. Either way, he's going to need a good one.
No, this first game for Strickland is so important for him to jump out of the gate quickly, particularly after he blundered there's on position for the 7. He must really run out here. And he's handling it well. I really like the way he's playing.
He enjoys playing Efren Reyes, and Strickland gets to the first rack. He's out of the gate. The Pearl 1-0 over Efren Reyes.
Get the chalk off with the new and improved pool table cleaner. Just spray it out over the table and wipe it clean with the handy microfiber wiper, and your pool table is cleaner than new. Get the chalk off with this professional pool table cleaner. You get free shipping when you call us toll-free 866-774-8770 or visit us online at pooltablecleaner.com. Get the chalk off today.
Are you looking for the ultimate one-stop shop for pool and billiard supplies? Then you need to visit billiardclub.net today for everything and anything you need for your home entertainment center. Our huge online store features pool cues, balls, racks, cue cases, pool table lights, training aids, and every accessory you could possibly imagine. We've got the best prices and the highest quality products you'll find anywhere. Log on today to billiardclub.net or call toll-free 866-774-8770. billiardclub.net.
Rack 2. Strickland with the break, already leading 1-0.
Let's take a look. There's four. There's the pocketing no balls on the break. But fortunately for Strickland, the 8 ball came in between the cue ball and the 1 ball, not allowing Reyes at the table with a clear shot. You know, he's got a couple of tricks in his bag as well as Strickland does in his. Let's see what he does.
There'll be a real contrast in facial expressions, too. Earl doesn't really disguise how he feels about a shot, whereas you'll see no emotion from Reyes.
Notice the position of both the 1 and the cue ball. Reyes kicked with the ability to put the 1 ball and the cue ball at different ends of the table. It was really planned out. He would have liked the cue ball to go down the little table a little further behind the 4. But nevertheless, good shot.
Oh, he was just trying to thin edge that 1 ball. It's going to be cue ball in hand for Reyes. And everything is in the open, all the colors available.
Now, the 2 players, like I tried to mention before, Strickland is the one who seems to be a little more sensitive at this time. You know, he's a little more delicate.
More susceptible.
Susceptible is a much better word, Jim. He's more susceptible. So therefore, you know, he really has to keep it together here, particularly early in the match.
The one thing that I feel is in Strickland's benefit with this match, though, Billy, is that if there's ever a player that he feels he can justifiably lose to, it's Reyes.
That's true, and that's why I said these players bring the best out of one another's games. You know, because they know they have to perform, and they do respect one another so much. And this is definitely, you know, this is a heck of a rivalry throughout the years, right here.
One for the ages. And he just wants to float this near the 3. Play it to the same corner. Beautifully controlled cue ball.
Such a wonderfully executed shot. Notice the angle that he's left himself with on the 3. Ideal for popping off that rail for position for the 4. See how nice he did that so effortlessly? That's the type of an angle that he needed to get, and he positioned the cue ball perfectly for that type of a shot.
He wasn't at his best last night when he lost to Perica. That was some kind of battle. 11-9, Jose Perica in the end surviving.
Well, it's hard to fall behind in a match and come back and win. Well, he hit a little roughly, but the pocket accepted the shot.
Yeah, he's grinning because he knows he didn't hit that one nearly as well as he would have wanted.
I was trying to say, it's hard on this equipment to fall behind and come back and win. We saw it yesterday in the Pagan Lion Bustamante match, where Bustamante fell behind 5-0. He made a charge at him, tied up, even went ahead. I think it was 8-7 or 9-8, but eventually lost the match 11-9. So on this equipment, you really can't afford to fall far behind, because surmounting large leads is very difficult.
This 9 for the Magician. Squaring it up here from the T-Tech 2 Arena. 1-1. Reyes versus Strickland. Reyes does have a weakness. It could well be in his break. I like the way Reyes hit the break in the first rack. Controlled the white ball perfectly, and very different this year too. Just to let our fans at home know, they're breaking from the box this year. So you won't see that cue ball over near that side cushion.
Well, he didn't pocket a ball on the break, and from my vantage point, I don't really know if he can pocket the 1 past the 2 and the 6. I do believe he can because there's no hesitation out there. This is the type of a rack that he needed to step to the table with. All the balls are open.
You know what I like about Earl, too, the way that he plays the game, is he does attack. He's very quick. He sights quickly. His mind works quickly on the patterns with which to try and remove the colors. Like, there's no inconsistencies with his rhythm around the table.
You better watch out. Now he's frozen to the 4. Now, does he have a shot on the 4 on the side? He's going to have to elevate and spin it slightly. He's shooting away from the ball. Nicely executed shot in terms of both accuracy and speed of the cue ball.
Rather
like
fortunate to have left it straight on, though, because he overhit position on that 4 and count himself a little lucky.
Now he's a little under the 5, a little further than he wanted to. Watch the cue ball come close to that side pocket now. He was able to come cross table. He doesn't want to end up back at the 8. He needs a little bounce here. Did he get enough of a bounce off that cushion? Looks like he did. This is another big rack for Strickland. Hit a little roughly, but nevertheless, fell in.
Straight 7. And all he'll do with the 8, just get the cue ball off that side cushion and a little closer to the 9. This is just the sort of reply that Earl would have been looking for. He's got to keep Reyes under pressure, and he knows it. 9 deposited. Strickland takes his second rack. 2-1, he leads Efren Reyes in the race to 11 for a chance to keep his dreams alive of winning the 30th annual U.S. Open 9-ball championship.
Where can you find videos of the best players in the world in their entirety and without commercials? AccuStats.com. How about 8-ball, 9-ball, straight pool, 1 pocket, and 3 cushion billiards? AccuStats.com. Only one place has it all. Check out our complete catalog on the net, 24 hours a day. Where do you ask? AccuStats.com.
You also have to like the way that Earl's going about his business. He's not getting distracted, and he's very easily distracted. Noise from the crowd. He tends to find things that other players don't see, but he looks like a man on a mission.
Well, there are certain players that bring the best out of us, and I think this matchup here with Reyes and Strickland, both of these players are going to play well because they want to win badly. It's just a rivalry that's been going on for a long time.
The break hasn't been kind to either player, Billy. Earl, just like Reyes, turns the table over with a glorious opportunity.
Now, for the 1 to the 2, it's going to be fairly difficult. But the 5 to the 6, that's where he's really going to have his problems. If there are any out there, it's going to be from the 5 to the 6. They reposition the cue ball nicely for the 2. He'll then stop it right there for position for the 3 in the upper right-hand corner. The 4 lays in front of the side pocket.
Little bit of body movement there, too, detected from Reyes.
Maybe a little bit nervous. He can probably play this 2 ways. He can draw back or stop it there. If he stops there, he'll go 2 rails around the 7-9. But he must end up with an angle on the 5. It's very crucial for him to end up with an angle on the 5 in order to gain position for the 6, which is positioned on the other side of the table. This is a big shot right here. He may play the 4 off the 6 right here, which he tried to do. I didn't know if it was available. I knew that he wanted to do that, but from my angle, I didn't know if it was available. Obviously, it was a difficult shot. He didn't make it. Now, Earl, the type of player he is, will definitely feed off of that.
Oh, guaranteed. This is a big chance. Could well be a turning point. You may want to make a note. I'm sorry, Billy. I was just going to say that you just don't get mistakes like this from Efren Reyes. Strickland knows it, and he also knows that he's got to capitalize on it.
Right. The invincibility of Reyes is now apparent to Strickland. He's going to really feed off of that. So, therefore, this is game number 4. And if Strickland's able to pocket the 9, he'll take it in a 3-1 advantage in this match.
No empty seats in the main arena. When you get a match between two living legends like Strickland and Reyes, little doubt that seating will be at a premium. 3-1, Strickland in front of Reyes. Yeah, that was a horrific miss, really, from Reyes. But you called it, Billy. He was trying to play this off the 6 simply because that 6 was in such a dicey position. Just caught it a bit too thin, and that cost him the rack.
Yeah, there was a lot of work for him to pocket the 4 and come up with the right angle on the 5 to drop for the 6. He figured he would remedy the problem if he could play the 4 off the 6, a shortcut. That time it didn't work.
Just a quick look to make sure that the balls are all touching. And Strickland looking for a ball down on the break this time. I wonder if he'll hit him a little harder. And he did. And I didn't hear anything drop.
Well, he didn't pocket a ball on the break. Unfortunately for Strickland, the 7 ball came in between the 1 and the cue ball, not allowing Reyes to see the 1.
But so far, this has got to be something both players have to sort out. Neither one of them are using the break to its advantage. And this table, in fairness, we've been seeing a lot of matches where the hard break has not been successful. The players that have been soft breaking, cut breaking, getting 2 balls off the break.
Well, I'm sure both of these players will recognize that and make the adjustment, because they are the greatest players on earth today. And I'm sure they'll figure out a way to pocket balls on the break.
And they've been watching what's been happening to each other. So they've got to start gauging this.
Now, this is going to be a difficult push because Strickland will definitely take this shot. But there's just too many good things that he can do for himself shooting this shot. There's a number of ways he can play safe off of this ball. And I'm sure he'll figure out the best way. I don't believe if I were Reyes, I would have done this because this is like, very, very, very difficult situation to put himself in.
Yeah,
Reyes, that is.
Never easy to push, though, when you've got a ball so close to a pocket. But Earl can play the 1 safe. Boy, that was dangerous.
It certainly was. A little closer to that corner than he wanted it. But you know what? It worked out pretty good. He left the cue ball at the other end of the table. I don't even know if Reyes can hit the 1. The likelihood of him coming back to the table with a shot is very, very likely. Strickland, that is. He's left Reyes in a lot of trouble here. But Reyes, the master of kicking that he is, hit the 1 and almost left no shot, but left some type of a shot.
Half a chance here. Not the easiest shot in the world. And Earl's even eyeing up the combination.
I like Earl to pocket the 1. Well, he is eyeing up the combination. A shot that I really didn't consider here. Obviously, he did. He's looking at it very, very strongly here. He's really going to shoot the combination here. A shot that
keeps the 1 in the middle of the table, Billy, so it's easy to control where the 1 goes and position to it.
And that's exactly what he's done. He repositioned the 1 in the center of the table. Also controlling the cue ball quite nicely as well. All the balls are down this end of the table here.
Earl's previous match leading up to this high-powered encounter. An 11-1 win over former World Junior champion Vilmos Foldes from Hungary. And this young player is one to watch because he's been going through this field like a hot knife through butter, but not when he ran into Strickland. Strickland doused his flame in a hurry.
This is not the same Strickland we've seen playing on this table a few matches ago. You can tell in his body language he's really more aggressive, much more composed, stronger concentration. This is the type of a player that we like to watch. And he's giving us a pretty good performance up to now.
Great control of the cue ball there. Nicely positioned to seize his 4th rack in this race to 11. Earl Strickland 4-1 ahead of the great Efren Reyes right now. He's got the break in rack number 6.
Hi, I'm Alan Hopkins. Like Jeanette Lee and other professionals, I've been playing pool most of my life.
That's right, Alan. Naturally, our games got better over time. We spent many hours practicing the key concepts needed to pocket billiard balls.
But today, there is a great new way for players to improve their game.
It's called the Spider.
Order yours today and your game will improve dramatically.
Call toll-free or go online and order yours today.
Rack number 6. Strickland 4-1 in front.
Nothing on the break.
Well, he tried to use every bit of body English that he could to get a ball into that top corner, but
Notice this shot, Jim. This shot lays so difficult. The 1 ball is here, the 2 is here. The 3 and the 8 are in the way of the cue ball. If he pockets the 1 in the corner, the cue ball must hit on this cushion here. If it goes this way, it goes into the 3, not allowing him position for the 4. Very difficult shot to execute, both in terms of accuracy, pocketing the ball, and playing position for the 2. He may end up playing safe here. Very nicely executed shot, but behind the 6. Tough shot to execute.
yes, right now everything is going Strickland's way, and he's got to take advantage of this. Efren going back now, I think, Billy, just to get his break cue. Is it break down to a jump cue? Now, in the past, I've seen Strickland shaking his head. He does not like this jump cue. Doesn't believe this should be part of a player's arsenal.
He doesn't feel that you're a man if you have to play with a short jump cue.
And Strickland out of his chair to watch.
Reyes is not really that proficient with the jump cue, as a lot of other players are, because he's always kicked. He's just recently developed the skills to use the jump cue. He doesn't use it poorly, but not as well as most other players.
Yeah, he could take a few lessons from his countryman Francisco Bustamante. We saw a match earlier, Bustamante against Pagulayan, where he played some terrific jump shots. But Reyes got pretty fortunate with the way this one turned out. You can see full ball snooker on that too. And Earl's going to be looking to try and hold that cue ball behind the 5 or try and float it behind one of those other colors. And he may, I was going to say, he may even be contemplating going after the 2.
Well, he wasn't able to pocket the 2, and he wasn't able to put the cue ball behind another ball. So Reyes steps to the table with a clear shot on the 2-3 positioned in front of the side pocket. A lot easier shot to negotiate than the last one he was confronted with.
Still some outside matches going on. Ralph Souquet 2-1 ahead of PJ Massicott, the only Canadian left in the U.S. Open Championships.
World 9-ball championships. Former California State 9-ball champion from Silmar, California.
Yeah, the balls are positioned quite nicely on the table for Reyes. So he would keep it together.
Good to go.
Stays.
First gentleman is a former winner at the class
that concentration he has right now. This rack shouldn't present any problem at all.
Big match for this one, too. Big rack.
Texas, one of the top touring pros in the UPA. Please welcome back the hillbilly, Mr. Charles Bryant, table number 6. Bryant. His opponent, player representative for the Tiger X Shaft from Los Angeles, California, also a touring pro with the UPA, Mr. Corey Harper, LA, California. Good luck.
As Reyes goes about his business here, vital visit this one, just to let our viewers know. Winners bracket matches slated for 3 p.m. The Lion, Alex Pagulayan, up against one of the surprise packages. Great player and finding some form, Troy Frank, originally from Ohio, now making his home down in Florida. Another match that is going to catch everybody's attention. Nice to see Tang Ho back from California. He's up against the German Andrius Roszczowski, as Reyes looks at this 8-9 to pull back to 4-2.
And that Tang Ho Petrowski match will be an interesting one, Jim.
And this 9 confirms the 4-2 scoreline here from center stage. Reyes with the break in rack number 7, but he stemmed the tide. And Strickland hoping he's not going to spend too long in this chair.
Okay, now we've drawn the cue ball 1 rail or 2 rails up and over to this area for position on the 9. Now there's another way to play the shot. We're going to try this with a high right-hand cue ball, just a touch of right, between 12 and 1 o'clock. And shoot the 8 straight in, try to hit the side rail and the end rail, and come up into this area right here for the 9 ball. This is high right between 12 and 1 o'clock. Now you come to the table and your opponent has left this pattern. What we have to do is we have to get from this spot here to this spot here. The way we do that is we know that we can't draw the ball because of the 9 and the 7. It looks like we can't follow the ball because of the 8. Well, don't be fooled by the 8. What we'll do here is we'll hit this with a high left-hand cue ball, and we'll hit it real firm. What that'll do is give the cue ball a whipping action. It'll actually come across the top of the 8. Strike this rail, come underneath the 8, and strike this rail, and come over to this side of the table for position on the 6th ball. This is a high left-hand cue ball, about 11 o'clock.
Jim, of the 2 players playing out there tonight, I think Reyes, in my opinion, is a little more resilient than Strickland. So this deficit that Reyes is facing, okay, I do believe he can surmount, providing that he comes back and plays flawlessly. And I think that he has it in him because he's a very, very resilient player.
No, that's a good point, Billy. I mean, if there's one player, if Strickland was facing a 6-2 deficit, his head would be down. All the negative thoughts would be swirling in his head. Reyes, he can overcome this.
And that's what it's going to take. It's shots of that kind, okay? He kicked the 1 ball perfectly, repositioned the cue ball, and back on another ball, not allowing Strickland at the table with a shot.
But Strickland's got a chance here. If he hits the 1, have a look at that 1-7 combination that he's standing right next to. So there's half a chance here.
And Strickland's going to give it a good chance, a good shot here because he's really feeling good. He's playing well, no negative thoughts. He's really playing well. He should give us a nice attempt here on pocketing this 1-7 combination. Like so. Yeah,
Look
very
out.
nicely executed shot.
Great shot from Strickland there. It hasn't brought him position to the 1, but he's got a chance to turn the tables on Reyes.
Well, what he would like to do is spin the 1, send the cue ball back in this position over here.
A wall of colors to hide behind.
Perfectly positioned behind that wall of balls on the other side of the table, leaving Reyes a very, very difficult situation to deal with. Reyes trailing 6-2, really didn't want to step to the table looking at something like this. Strickland's really, really applying the pressure on him now.
Crunch time.
Once again.
Almost made the 5.
Anytime Reyes kicks, you know, when you're playing him, you think, well, what's he going to do to me now?
See, even Strickland saying he was playing that 5. He's seen Reyes weave some magic in past matches. Never forget that big match they played in Hong Kong for $100,000. I think it was almost like a race to 35, but the final score was about 35-32, something like that, but years ago. Well, in fact, it was a race to 120, we've just been told. I knew it was a long race. I didn't know it was 120, but the final score, 120, 117. That's the difference between these two.
The reason for the indecision, he wants to feel the shot so he can make up his mind whether he wants to play for the side or for the corner or for the other side, which was obviously the best choice. Look at his position now. Natural angle after pocketing the 8 to fall nicely for the 9. Whoa, a little more now. He's starting to feel more than pretty good about his game.
Firing on all cylinders right now, Strickland. 7-2. A beautiful lead for Earl. He needs 4 more racks to keep his hopes of winning yet another U.S. Open Championship alive. 7-2 over Efren Reyes. Rack number 10. And Strickland with the break. Finally.
Look at
finally I get a ball, and not just 1, 3, and look at the layout.
And look at the cue ball dropping in the center of the table, indicating how solidly and squarely he hit the 1.
This is what he can do to you. He can be like a monster at the pool table when he's in the right frame of mind. And he can make it look preposterously easy.
And notice how nicely he executed that shot in terms of speed, which was so crucial.
Well, Diamond Billiard Products make these beautiful tables, and the pockets on them, and Earl Strickland right now is filling them. Beautiful Simonis 860 cloth. These players have been enjoying. 2 of the sponsors in this year's U.S. Open. And this cloth has been cleaned with Chalk Off, the pool table cleaner, between matches to welcome these tables. And welcome these players to them. Strickland motoring on towards the finish line, 8-2. The M3000 Sardo tight rack applied to that diamond cluster of colors, making sure that a perfect rack welcomes Strickland to the table.
Well, he wasn't able to pocket a ball on the break, but really didn't suffer much of a consequence in terms of selling out his shot. Reyes steps to the table. We'll have to play some sort of a safety here. This is not going to be an easy safety to execute.
Using the 2 colors, Earl's going to be kicking at this. And this doesn't look easy, not even from the commentary box.
No, it doesn't. I don't believe, from the position that he's in, I don't believe he can shoot past the 6, hit the rail, and then hit contact the 1. I don't think there's room for him to shoot that in between the 8 and the 6. He doesn't. It's going to be a very difficult hit. This way figures to go long. He figures to go around the 1 here, but he didn't. He was able to contact the 1. Nicely executed shot.
Well, he got the escape, but he's left Reyes the chance.
Yeah, he was really up against it, if you will. Didn't really have much of an out.
Speaking of being up against it, Reyes 8-2 adrift. He's got to start producing the goods right now. You know he's pulled some Houdini acts in the past, and none would be bigger than this one.
And it's a real nice rack for Reyes to step to the table with. All the balls are in the open. You know, you have good lead balls to the next ball, the 5 to the 6 to the 7 to the 8. Everything seems to be in a nice place for Reyes, something that he desperately needed. He trails 8-2, and he's going to need a lot more stuff like this with perfect execution.
Just short of his 52nd birthday, Reyes. So he gives up, well, I guess, what's Earl? Mid-40s now? Gives up 8 years or so to Strickland. But Reyes listed as the favorite player on most players' tournament sheets. He's the one that they all come to watch. He's the professor. But right now, it's Earl Strickland that's taken Reyes back to school. Perfect angle on this 8. And down for the 9 to stop the rot and pull one back for the magician. Deposits it, and back to 8-3. And Reyes has to start mounting the comeback. Got the break in rack number 12.
Get the chalk off with the new and improved pool table cleaner. Visit us online at pooltablecleaner.com. Get the chalk off today.
Simonis is the oldest company on the planet Earth still in billiards. They've been there since 1680, and they are still there producing the finest billiard cloth the world can possibly play on in pool, snooker, and carom. The cloth of champions, it's played on most tournaments around the world. It's the cloth you see in most pool rooms as well. If you make your living off the top of the table, that's the product you sell. You'll put Simonis on it, and most of them do.
Try and plant some seeds in Earl's brain that this match is a long ways from over because Strickland's been free stroking. The best way to do that is to put a few together. The break in rack 12. And finally, he enjoys some success and perfect on the 1.
And it was one of those aggravating breaks for Strickland. Nothing seemed to have been was going to go in until the last minute kiss. The center of the table kissed the 7 in. And look at the balls, Jim. Pretty nicely positioned with the exception of the 3 to the 4. Now here's the problem in this rack. It's the 3 and this is the 4. What he needs to do from the position he's left himself with on the 2, he may have to go forward and come back across the table, or he could draw it back and put the 3 in the side. I don't know from my vantage point which shot is available. But playing position from the 3 to the 4 is the problem. He's drawing back. He's out of line here, Jim. He's going to have to make a tough shot on the 3 now.
Yeah, it looks like he can play the 3 into the other corner pocket and just take that cue ball off the cushion and back out to the middle, clear the 6.
He can play in this pocket, but he's going to hit the cushion here, and he's got to come way over here for the 4. What did he do?
Well, we were right down the line of that shot, and I can tell you, Billy, he didn't have a full pocket into that corner.
Well, he tried to play the 3 on the side of the table where he didn't have a full pocket, like you said.
Well, Strickland's grinning a little bit. I think he feels Reyes got a little fortunate not to have left an easier 3.
But, you know, if the truth was known, if we could hear what he's thinking, he would probably be thinking, I'm glad I have an opportunity back at the table, okay, because I didn't anticipate this happening. So he'll make the best of it.
Well, he's missed the 3.
You know, it was a tough thing for him to shoot that shot, considering the position of the 4. The shot in itself was a very, very difficult shot to pocket, let alone play position for the 4. Notice the cue ball. If he would have pocketed the 3, he wouldn't have come up with a shot on the 4. Maybe that reason alone was enough for him not to try to pocket the 3. He's going to come nicely executed.
Got a nice angle on this 4 to drop onto the 5. Played that cushion first.
So that was the first time in this match, Jim, that I've seen Strickland do something that I disagreed with after it was over.
Well, in fairness, that's probably the first mistake he's made of any note. mean, really, he's just been coming up dry with a lot of his breaks. Didn't really cue that as well as he would have liked.
He must have had an awkward angle. That's why he saw all that spin on the cue ball. But he's really not playing as smoothly as we're accustomed to watching him play.
Into the side pocket.
See, he's just not playing smoothly. And like I noticed from the offset of this match, he isn't hitting the balls crisp and accurate.
The airs coming hard and fast from Efren Reyes. And Strickland is quick to punish them. 9-3 the lead he enjoys. And with the break in hand still to come in rack 13. Carmine Sardo with the Sardo rack. 9-7-1 to 7-8-8. Huge advantage, not only on the scoreboard, but in the active stats as well.
Well, this is probably a foregone conclusion. It's 9-3. He's pocketed a ball on the break. He does have a shot on the one. He'll be able to reach this. This shot on the one, I think, is a little easier than the shot he had on the three. But the two ball is positioned a little more conveniently for him. It's a little more accessible than the four was in the last rack. So therefore, I look for him to run out here as well.
Well, one of the best shot makers the game has ever seen. And what a great shot there. Look out. Well, it's all happening for Strickland right now. That cue ball is tracking right towards that bottom corner. Flicks the two for position and to keep Whitey on the table.
And that's what I alluded to. The two ball was more accessible then than the four ball was last rack. So all he needed to do was pocket the one, and chances are he was going to come up with a shot on the two, which he did.
Nice angle on the four. Draw the cue ball back towards the middle.
And if he runs out this rack, he'll be on the hill, leading 10-3. And the chances of Reyes coming back from that type of a deficit is about the same chance if I have jumping out this window, flying to Cleveland.
I wanted you to say the same chance of locking horns with me, Billy.
Jim, you know, we only played once. You eked out a victory, and now you've been like feeling good about that. You know, ever since.
I'm living on it.
Yeah.
Perfect on the 8. Few players in the world can live with Strickland when he's in this sort of mood. Eyeing up the 9 to get to the hill. And the hill arrives. The Pearl 10-3. Who could have predicted a score like this? Rack 14. The last break you're going to see from Earl.
Watch the stick. He almost fouled the ball with his stick. Well, Reyes is going to have an opportunity back at the table.
What sort of attitude do you take? Now you're trailing 10-3. There's 8 racks to play. Earl knows it. Reyes needs every single one of them. He's run 8 racks before, but under these circumstances.
Well, the attitude which you should take is this. Roll up your sleeves and go to work. Because if you're going to win this match, you're going to have a lot of work in front of you.
Beautifully played there. Controlling the 2 to the same pocket. Kill the speed of the cue ball with soft bottom. I guess if nothing else, Reyes can give this one up for lost. He can certainly let that back arm go now. Not that he ever has a problem with his back arm. Speaks very softly, Reyes. Never says much, but when he does say something, everybody pays attention. He's not getting any younger, but he's still a force to be reckoned with.
Well, he lost the cue ball here, Jim. Repositioned the cue ball close to that side rail. He wanted to end up straight on the 6, and if he had any type of an angle, it should have been on the other side of the 6. So So now he's going to have to do a little bit extra here, Jim. So he's accepted the longer shot on the 7. Notice how far the cue ball is from the 7. This is not the type of a shot you want to shoot, considering the layout that he had. He would have liked to have been a lot closer to the 7, especially since he's been playing a little roughly.
And with 50-year-old eyes, too, Billy.
He's still struggling.
Good recovery. To hold the fort, Reyes knocks in the 9, 10-4. He's hoping it's not going to be over and out. Efren's got the break in rack 15.
Are you looking for the ultimate one-stop shop for pool and billiard supplies? Then you need to visit BilliardClub.net today for everything and anything you need for your home entertainment center. Log on today to BilliardClub.net or call toll-free 866-774-8770. BilliardClub.net.
This championship is played with the Super Aramith Pro Cup set, the professional ball set that guarantees ultimate precision in your game. Now this top quality set with its through hardened surface, its beautifully engraved numbers, and its new red dotted Pro Cup cue ball comes in a unique value pack, including also the Aramith ball cleaner, the microfiber cleaning cloth, and the Jimmy Rempe training cue ball with its manual. The Super Aramith Pro Cup set, a value pack built for the player who loves the game.
Certainly be a magical performance, even to try and put some heat back on Earl Strickland. 3-4 racks would accomplish that feat. Strickland has played superlative 9-ball, but Reyes with some unforced errors, uncharacteristically, as he breaks in rack 15. And the soft break finally sees a ball down off the break. Saw him run 8 racks in a row in the World Championships against Francisco Bustamante.
Well, it's going to be very difficult for him to do that here because, as you have seen, the production on the break has been a problem for both players. And the size of the pockets out there, I don't know, in the tournament against Bustamante what the size of the pockets were, but you're talking about 4 4.25 inch pockets, and the table's not giving up balls on the break. Oh, nicely executed.
Doesn't want this to go in because he'd be snookered on the 3. Much better. And I suppose you just got an indication, as clear as you're going to get, that Reyes is throwing caution to the wind in this one.
Well, Reyes can't afford anything bad happen to him for the remainder of this match. He's trailing 10 games to 4. He can't afford to miss another ball. He can't afford to have anything unlucky happen to him, and he can't afford to have anything lucky happen to Strickland or its curtains.
Should leave a nice angle on the 6 to track up to that 7. This is something I think that Efren would like to have seen a little earlier in this match. Chance to get some flow into his game. So you can never count him out.
Yeah, I like the way he's playing this rack, Jim. He's got better speed of the cue ball. Balls are going in now the center of the pocket. Maybe it's something like what you alluded to earlier, that he maybe the chance of winning now is not there, so therefore there's no more pressure on him.
Tough 9, though, to continue. And he gets it. 10-5. Some fight left in this champion. Strickland helping him get the balls out.
Well, if you think Reyes is going to roll over and give it to Strickland, think again. That's not going to happen.
You don't win titles as many as Efren Reyes has taken. He's won this championship before. He's won the World Championship before. He's won on all 4 corners of the world. And you don't win those titles unless you're a champion at heart and a fighter. And we know Strickland is. And we're seeing evidence that Efren Reyes is as well. Watch out, cue ball.
Well, that's what I was talking about. Reyes couldn't afford to get unlucky because he trailed 10-4. At any time in the match, if he had any bad luck happen to him, he was going to lose, particularly as well as Strickland's were playing.
He's won 5 U.S. Open crowns already, Strickland. Unprecedented in the modern era. 4-time world champion. And with this being the 30th anniversary, you just know the Pearl would like to be slotting a ring on another hand.
Yeah, I was going to say what he really wants to do is stop in this position here, setting the cue ball down table like this here.
Well, I think she can start warming up the vocal cords, Billy.
He would like to stay on the same side of the table that the 8's on, hitting the second cushion. 1, 2, then go toward the 9. Yeah, he's going to have to stretch a little bit.
He won't be too bothered. Float this in. And the 9 deposit of Strickland ousts his buddy. The man who measures his game by 11-5. Earl Strickland a winner here in the U.S. Open. His dream is alive.
The U.S. Open 9-Ball Championship is a production of Billiard Club Network. For more, log on to billiardclub.net.